Hello and welcome to my third IB progress update. This week I have added a new environment. As you can see, we have 3 different ramps. This one at 65, this one at 25 degrees, and this one at 45 degrees. There's a wall here with 0 friction, and then there's this that has friction. I'll explain why I need that later. So, other than that, I have added a new gun, the M4. This was created using the pack from Ishikawa 1116 with the low polygon models. This was free on the Unity asset store. How I did it is I created a prefab. I went to the prefabs here, black and common, and then rifle, and this is the only one here. I dragged it in. I unpacked the prefab, which you have to do. I then set it to the same transform as the AKM because I thought it was fairly similar. They already have a muzzle implemented. So all I had to do was move it out of this mesh folder so that I could access it a bit easier. Find its transform, and then create a gun data file and attach the gun script and attach all the required things. And then if I re-enable this AKM, you can see that it kind of overlays on top of the M4, and it doesn't really work together. But if I disable the AKM, which is just using the toggle active state, then the M4 is the only one available. And I can go over here. Here are the stats for the new AKM. I just typed a 1 with a bunch of zeros for the max distance, because why not? Current ammo, mag size, it's got 200 RPM more, and this should be accurate to, like, the fire rate should actually change, is what I've discovered. And I also created a new layer, which is slope greater than 45 degrees, so that the player cannot just climb the slope. So let me show you how that works. I also created a new object called audio holder, so that I did not have to keep the audio empty objects like so far out. So the reason that I had to make that new layer is because on any ramp, the player can just spam jumps, and sometimes you get a double jump like that. Now, that's not an issue on a ramp that you're supposed to be able to climb up, kind of like this one. It just helps kind of skip it. I'll have to find a way to get rid of that later. But if the player were to fall down here, they can't do that anymore. And they used to be able to just float straight up. So, yep. And then this big old object had to be 0 friction because when I first added it without the 0 friction material that Unity provides base, the player could jump up against this wall and basically just sit there for like a solid 2 seconds, and they could jump on the side of the wall. So that's why I also had to add the top piece over here, because for whatever reason, if the player steps onto a 0 friction surface and then they run into something, or even if they just walk onto it, they will continue to slide in whatever direction they were moving in. Which, I mean, makes sense if you got 0 friction. But that's it. And there's one other thing I wanted to show. Can't remember what it was. Other than that, though, I plan on creating a way that the player can pick which gun they want at the beginning, and then it'll toggle the active state of the other one. I just have to find that. Right. So I did also add sprinting, which, if we go to player over here, you can see the new sprint speed modifier in movement. And then the ground layer being default so that I don't have to constantly change stuff, and a new jump and a new sprint key option. This was implemented fairly easily. I basically just created serialized fields for sprint speed and sprint key. Or not really serialized fields. I just created fields for the sprint speed and sprint key. And then I copied and pasted the vector 3 for regular movement with just WASDA and no sprint. And then I created an if statement to check if they're grounded and holding the sprint key, because get key is checking for a hold instead of get key down, which is checking for a press. And then after that, I just put it all inside of an if statement that checks that, and any other time that the player is doing a move key, it doesn't matter, they can still move. That's all I've changed this week. So thank you, and bye.